with you. All right. Over here on the top left of our map, our Zerg player from Startail makes some noise for life.
And up here to the top right of merry-go-round is the red Protoss player playing for Ro8 Flash Wolves. It's San!
All right, time to see what these guys are going to decide to do. We do see life starting off with an Overlord Scout in the right direction, so that is a good way to start, no doubt about it.
Do you think that San's entering this series a little bit worried of life, of the type of player that he is? He's a multiple StarCraft champion. He's, you know, people call him the prodigy of Zerg when it comes to playing this game. Do you think San's worried, especially after life went through, apparently, you know, the highly predicted Zest to win this tournament?
Well, when you look at how well San has done against Zergs recently, it's some outstanding statistic. I think he's not worried about life. I think he knows that it's going to be a very hard match. But if I'm San, I'm looking at this as just another Zerg to fight.
All right. Well, hatchery first here by life. Not afraid of anything early on coming out of his opponent here.
And in the meantime, San actually going for gateway and gas, no scouting, and this is very San-esque. This is like, I don't remember the last PVZ I saw of his that he didn't open like this. This guy loves a gateway expansion, heavy pressure, and very oftentimes into a 3 or 4 gate rush.
Well, life here on the other side of things has decided to go 3 hatcheries before the spawning pool. He's opening up really economy focused here. Obviously without the spawning pool, if there were to be aggression, he'd be in a little bit of trouble here. But he's opened up very, very greedy here. San is moving out with a probe, going to try and get some information on this, and he will.
Yeah, but there's not a whole lot he can do to punish this right away. Like, double hatchery before spawning pool is a great counter to a gateway expand because you just can't quite attack quick enough. You don't have a forge for a cannon rush. There's no way to punish it right off the bat, but life has to be on top of getting either speedlings or roaches out to stop any possible follow-up 4 gates.
Yeah, and that's going to all come down to San now as he moves into this main base. And he's going to see that very, very late spawning pool and start to piece the puzzle together immediately. And now he has a choice to make. His strategy, if he'd already had one in mind, that might start to change a little bit now. As if he doesn't really look to punish or slow down life at all, surely he'd start to fall behind in this game when it comes to production and economy.
Well, you are right about that, but he has sent the Zealot over already, a Mothership Core tagging along way behind. We'll see if he can actually get any damage done, but probably not. You know, the Queen pops out, and a Queen plus anything out-micros a single Zealot.
Well, what do you think the best way for San to play against this is?
Well, San has to stay in his own style, I think. I think you go with the 4-gate follow-up, and, you know, you press as hard as you can. In fact, he's walling himself in very tightly here. He's already going up to 4 gates. There's no big surprises in what we're seeing.
And I think there's a probe down here just south of where these Zerglings are, so already starting to see what San has planned, and he's going to build a pylon just on the high ground here, which has not been spotted by life yet. He has an Overlord there.
It's just seeing the Zealot and Mothership Core both go in the same location should tell him that a probe is nearby. In the meantime, he is going for a small counterattack here. That's actually quite a few Zerglings, but the Sentry might be able to chase him away.
Well, he's going to work on that gateway immediately here, and life pulls... he's going to pull that gateway down pretty fast here. There's a probe that comes off the line to help continue to wall off here.
Well, he made him use the force field, so I guess that's nice, but he didn't actually get all that much done. The best he might be able to do is force another warp in over there, but that could cost him a lot of lings to do.
Yeah, Life did see all 4 gateways in total now. Obviously known there's one inside the main base. He does not know about this pylon down here, but he can start to worry a little bit that this is going to be a threat. He has 12 Zerglings on the way, more Overlords to open up his supply, but no Zergling speed, no Roach Warren. Queens and Zerglings alone currently. Does he have the tools necessary to stop this?
You know, I think he does. In the meantime, we do see him actually hitting this gateway again, and of course there was another warp in, but the one very nice thing about what he's doing with these Zerglings is forcing sentries, which means no stalkers with the army, which could do a very great micro against this type of slow Zergling Queen-based army.
Well, more Zerglings have been added on, an extra 10, but more and more Zealots here, and life He's going to see this Mothership Core. He doesn't want to lose the Mothership Core.
Oh my God, a huge huge pickoff there by Life. I cannot believe that Son let that happen.
And the gateway being targeted here, and it is going to fall, which means the Zerglings are going to start to break through here. And there's not enough energy on these sentries, so he's actually going to bring the first one down. More units can go over there in a little bit later, but the Zealots on the other side of the map are going to start attacking. But look how many units there are.
Yeah, Life can get a nice surround here. His Queen's even being transfused. A ton of Zealots, so he's got to be careful with these Zerglings. He doesn't want them engaging without Queen support, and the Zealots are shredding through these Zerglings at least.
Queen's going to push them back for now. He's going to have to continue to warp in. The probe count incredibly low. 3 extra Zealots do come in, but only units are being made currently by Life. He's addressed the situation. He knows what he's playing against, but can he continue to defend? And Spinecrawler finishing up 14 additional Zerglings, an extra Queen.
And a lot of Zerglings actually being sent across the map. He's got to be careful about that. You know, these Zealots can come up here, assess the situation, and then hit that third base and maybe take it out.
All right, well, here comes the poke at the front door here. There's not enough energy for a force field, but there is a Zealot blocking a wall. That's a lot of Zealots here. San staying true to his style.
That's right. He is pushing forward now against these Queens, but there's a lot of transfusion energy. This Spinecrawler helping out a ton as well. This little choke point hard for the Zealots, but of course the Zerglings being killed very quickly also.
And the Queen's dealing out so much damage here. That Spinecrawler adding in a lot. The Zealots break through the Zerglings, but can they really break through the Queens? And the answer is no, as Life continues to hold on versus this aggression.
Well, he is trying to come around with these Zerglings as well, and he's going to be able to take out at least one of these pylons. That leaves just one forward pylon left for San, and I got to say, this rush has been defeated.
All right, well, congratulations on Life there, I suppose, Artosis. But where does San really, where does he go from this type of position? He's thrown in a lot of his resources into this Zealot attack. What next?
Well, you know what? He has forced out a lot of Zerglings. He knows that there hasn't been a lot of gas for Life, and there's quite a few Queens. I think San is going to just follow up with a 2-base all-in, and my guess, maybe an Immortal all-in.
All right, well, Zerglings do poke at that front door. See that extra gateway, I think it is there, just behind the sentry. And still a little bit of pressure. Oh, the robotics facility, sorry. There is still a little bit of pressure by the Zealots, but nothing that Life's going to be too worried about. He's finishing up with a Hydralisk Den.
Oh, man.
Throughout all of this, he did finish that layer.
See, this is just smart play. You can see that Life has studied San. This is exactly how San plays. If you watch 100 San games, a huge percentage of them will look just like this, where he does his Zealot push into robotics tech. And Zergling Queen Hydra is going to be a fantastic counter against this.
Every additional Hydralisk that's added into the army, Life gets closer and closer to defending this secondary attack. 3 extra gateways coming in, but so many units here for Life. He's getting his Zergling speed. The Hydra range is on the way as well.
Yeah, and with this pressure, well, it looks like he's loaded up this Warp Prism. Could be going for an attack into the main base. He's drawn most of the army out here to the third base, but this is really just a feint to get damage done up here.
And can he get done? The sentries in here as well, so he's going to force field the ramp for that. It's a bit of a surprise here for Life. He targets down the sentries immediately with these 2 Hydralisks. In the meantime, there's also Zerglings chasing back these Zealots.
Oh, man, he is keeping a lot of force fields there, but this counterattack dealing a lot of damage, killing all these Zealots, and with just 2 sentries, it's not going to hold.